Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz, my company is Hello From Liz Mathews, and I am excited to spend some time with you today. It is midday, early afternoon, Saturday, August 26th. I am coming to you from my home in Maryland. I am a cross-stitch needlework designer, an artist, a collector, a daydreamer. It's me. Hi. I am a day late with this video and I will tell you why, but as I have been mentioning, I love my Friday routine. I like having just a sense of like schedule and routine and connecting with you more than just like the months that we're spanning before. So although I am a day late, I am here. I have got some stitching to show you. I've got some acquisitions. It's been, have you ever had one of those weeks? Like we chatted 8 days ago. I feel like a year's worth of life happened in these 8 days. It's just been one of those weeks. So today's super casual. When I get up from here, I think I'm gonna take the rest of the day to do something like just for myself. Maybe some quilting. I'll talk about that in a second because I have some thoughts and some things I want to do, and I brought those over to share with you. But yeah, we're just gonna catch up for a little bit. I am 100% winging it in this video. Aside from having piles of things I want to show you, there's no notes, there's no nothing, so we're gonna go with it. I did want to just mention that if there's anything that you would like more information on, or I mentioned something in the video that you are curious about, look in the description box below. I will put all of the details of friends I mentioned, products, suggestions, things I chat about down there, so you don't need to take any notes while we're spending some time together today. It will all be linked below, including my Instagram handle, information for how to join my newsletter or my membership. So all of that's down there, and we're just going to spend some time today chatting. As I said, a lot has happened in these last 8 days. Needlework Marketplace is happening for everybody in the industry, and that has brought about like a little bit of flurry and excitement. I am not participating in Needlework Marketplace, which is why I am able to chat with you today. Needlework Marketplace is a wholesale virtual market for designers, and they have a chance to connect through the computer with shop owners. Designers can connect with shop owners across the country. So many of them, my mom included, are in front of their computer this weekend, chit-chatting, taking orders, doing virtual like Zoom style chats. I, however, am not participating just because with the spring I've had and the projects on my plate, I did not want to obligate myself to anything. I just needed to do things at my own pace this season, and for that reason I did not participate in the Needlework Marketplace. However, I did have releases that came out last week, so you guys saw them through a special YouTube video I did, sent out a newsletter, shared them on Instagram, shared them all the places. I have 5 new designs, and it has been crazy filling those orders. Joe is continually making new charts. I can't wait for you guys to see those cover sheets. We chatted about those last time. Wow. I hope that I can like clear the words coming out of my mouth up because I'm gonna be tripping over myself apparently this whole video. So sorry about that. Joe has been making charts like crazy. We've been filling orders like crazy. It has been one busy week, which is really exciting because it means that we're at the shipping phase. So your shops will start to get the new Hello From Liz Mathews designs like probably today. So soon you will have them in your hands, which always makes me really happy. But I think this afternoon I'm just gonna take a little bit of time off for me because it has been a doozy of a couple days. Shipping day was Wednesday. Cover sheets didn't arrive for the 9th day of Christmas until Wednesday. So when I say chaotic, it's like shuffling all the things around, getting them out the door. It is what it is. I got together with my friend Kari of Tiger Lily this week. I will tell you about that and show you my goodies and haul from that visit. And then sadly, the reason I wasn't able to film yesterday, we had to say goodbye to my mom's dog Bella. She was with us for 14 years, and we got the news on Thursday evening that it was time to go say goodbye. So yesterday, you can imagine, the eyes were swollen. So anyway, we just postponed one day. I'm here with you today, and just, you know, trying to keep really happy, fond memories of her in the forefront of my mind. So it's just been, yeah, trying to make sure that mom's doing okay. She is participating in Marketplace, so it has also been a whirlwind of a week for her. Joe was very, very fond of Bella, so I'm wanting to be there for both of them, and you know, life. So I do have one, let's just skirt around that and move on. One little happy thing. I haven't talked to you much about my garden this year. I haven't had the time and energy, honestly, to give it my best, but I am growing vegetables and fruit this year, and for the first time I harvested a cantaloupe this week. It tasted so good, not only because I grew it, but it was just delicious. I cannot believe I grew a cantaloupe. There's 3 more that are ready to pick within the next couple weeks. I gave one to my father-in-law this morning, and I have now 4 or 5 watermelons, like little small sugar babies, coming in that I'm really excited about. So I intended to do a garden tour and share a bunch more about the garden, but it has just been one of those seasons where I cannot keep up. I can't do it all. You should see this house. It is like, I've talked about this before. I can't keep it tidy. I just like leave little piles of my projects everywhere. Speaking of houses, I chatted with you guys maybe last month about the fact that Joe and I are house hunting, and well, I guess we're not officially house hunting yet, but we're starting to think about it, making our list, determining things we need. I think we decided that we're not going to be building a house. It sounds very expensive and overwhelming when I looked into it. So we're gonna hope to find a house on the market, and probably this spring will be the time for us. I have not had a chance to even think about switching those bedrooms the way I planned to put my office in the sunnier bedroom that we talked about like last month. So that's why you haven't seen me back there, because this continues to be the room with the best light. So, you know, gonna let some things go. I find myself in this phase now where I'm like, well, we're moving, so do I want to move rooms around? Like, I'm in that frame of mind. So we'll see what happens, but there's been no moves, so that's why you haven't seen any updates with that. Boxes are starting to arrive for the class I'm teaching at Hobby House in October. By the way, I cannot wait to be in upstate New York during the fall. It's going to be so beautiful. Mom and I have plans to go to Niagara Falls while we're up there. It's going to be so great. But boxes are starting to arrive for that. Boxes have been arriving for the new releases that we sent out last week. And then Jingle Ball boxes are arriving. I am participating in the Jingle Ball this year. I cannot wait. It's going to be an epic virtual celebration, which you are all invited to, and you will hear so much more about in the coming months. But I've started to get inventory, and if I felt like this house was running out of space before, I'm kind of worried about where we're going to put it all, where we're going to store it all, because these quantities are large, the boxes are not small, and I basically told Joe that like our living room is going to get stacked up with boxes. So the search is on for a bigger house. I would love to double our space. I know that sounds crazy. My dream scenario would be to find a house that has a separate like in-law quarter or suite that can be all business. I think that would be just dreamy, to be able to have a place to kind of go every day to work, even if it's on our property and, you know, at our house. Just like a separation of home and work sounds perfect. And I feel like I'm only going to feel more strongly about that as these coming months go by, because home is going to become overwhelmed with boxes and everything. So that is an update on the houses. I'm trying to think of all of the things I wanted to update you on my personal life. So I'll leave it there. I've talked your ear off for 10 minutes. So I want to show you now a finish that I have. I'm going to intermix my stitching and all of the other things that I have to show you, but I do have a finish, which is like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy the amount of stitching that I got done in this past week despite all of the things that have been going on. So this will probably not be a surprise to you because I don't stitch on too many different things, but this is the garden piece from the French book that just needed its back stitching finished. Well, I finished it. So let me give you a peek. I obviously have not ironed it. I pulled this out of the hoop just the way it is, so I have some work to do, but it's done, yay, and I wanted to show it off. There you go. Doesn't that backstitch just tie everything together so beautifully? All of the details you had no idea would pop really popped out in this piece. There it is. So this is from a French designer from Veronique and Jenn. It says salads, tomatoes, aromatics, which basically means lettuce, tomatoes, and herbs. And I stitched this on 32 count Smoky White, vintage Smoky White linen. I believe this is Weigart, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it was the perfect shade of linen for this. I really like vintage country mocha, vintage Smoky White, whatever this is. I've heard a lot of talk recently about people, liking it. People have it's very polarizing is what I'm learning. I happen to love it, so I would like to get my hands on more of this. Hopefully they have it in other counts besides 32, because 36 is my sweet spot, but I just love this. I love this. I have a full-on obsession with these French books. We've talked about them. I am not going to go through them again. I will spare you. But this piece is from Mon Jardin Potager book. I got this on Amazon. My Amazon storefront is linked in the description box below if you would like to get your hands on this, or maybe one of the 6 or 7 other varieties. I did not stitch it as charted. Let me show you what I mean. I did omit my little working copy there. I did omit the plantation sign at the bottom. Just didn't suit my taste, but I still think it's super sweet. And you can see that there is a color difference between my finish and the photo. I believe the photo is slightly washed out, but I still think it's a beautiful finish. There you go. You can see mine is just a little bit more vibrant, and you can see I omitted that sign on the bottom, but I'm very, very pleased with it. I have more stitches like this calling me soon, so you can bet that I'll be starting another one. As far as finishing goes, I didn't have plans going into this, but I think what I'm leaning towards is one of those double-sided glass hinged frames. I've used them in several of my designs before. I really, really like them. I like the look, the simple, like kind of not like primitive folk art look, but like the simple, not fancy primitiveness of it. So I think that I might first iron this, then fray the edges and put it in one of those frames if I can find one that fits just right. I always get them on Amazon, like could not be any easier. So we'll see. This bird might stick up to make it proportionally a little weird. I can see that not working in a frame, but the FFO for this is TBD. What's really odd about this is there's so much purple. I remember that shocking me when I pulled the colors and I was like, oh no, I am not a purple person, but I don't mind it here. So anyway, that is my finish. I don't think I have much more to tell you about that. Used a whole lot of colors that I can now put back into my DMC stash. Okay, speaking of that, remember last week I had these in my haul. I don't have the packaging anymore. These are the DMC branded stickers for bobbins. I showed you, okay, spoiler alert, my next whip is my stocking. I showed you all of the threads that I had bobbinated for my stocking, and I had just gotten in the mail the little DMC stickers, and I started putting them on. Don't do it. Don't invest your money. They're cheap, like $5 maybe. Don't do it. They fall off. Someone messaged me in the comments of my last video, and they said, be careful because those stickers fall off and then you're like hunting for what color it is. So right. So right. No, they're a dud. They're a pass. They're a skip. Don't do it. Not worth it. I mean, I even like squeezed my bobbins to try to affix that sticker well. They're still coming off. So it's just back to good old Sharpie for me. So yeah, don't do it. Warning, warning. Could be bad. Okay, so where do I go from here? Last week, after we talked, I told you that I wanted to go get a couple things at Michael's for my stocking, which I'm about to show you. Well, I went like promptly Saturday morning when I woke up. I was like, I need to get out of the house. I'm gonna go to Michael's and run those errands and get those things I needed. So I did in fact find my little bobbin box. This, I think I have 5 skeins of DMC thread yet to be bobbinated, and this is how many colors the stocking calls for. Not even, because I didn't buy the purples. So it's this plus these 5 plus a couple purples. Stocking takes a lot of DMC thread. So it does fit perfectly in this little box, which I think is adorable. It's just like a mini one of the big bobbin holders that you get, and I loved it. I love it. I think it works great. I loved it for about the like 48 hours I had it before I met up with Kari. So give me a second to explain that and it will all make sense. But I did haul that. I think this is great if you have projects like a stocking that require a ton of thread, just to keep it separate and organized and, you know, dedicated for that project. I also at Michael's picked up the Crayola marker set that I was eyeing. I saw this on Amazon, but then I was at Michael's, so I was like, I'll just go ahead and get it. Check out all of those colors. That's pretty awesome. And the tips on these are fantastic because, where are you? There, you can see it's pretty fine, but you could also use the chisel side and like fill in. So I love the variety of colors in this because that stocking is confetti heavy, and these are just fun to use, if I'm being totally honest. I think this was $10. It was really affordable. 50 markers. I recommend it. I have received and read several comments in my last video when I talked about wanting these, mentioning that you guys like to use colored pencils. You say it's cleaner, which has left me worrying about getting ink on things. I didn't worry about that before, but now I do. So maybe one day I will try the colored pencils as well. The thought of having to sharpen pencils does not appeal to me. So for now, I'm going Super Tip washable markers from Crayola. Stay tuned, maybe in the future colored pencils are the way that I am gonna go. I also, on that trip, I was like, get things for stitching. I bought some of this felt at my local quilt shop because I want to make a design board. Clearly, I need one. I've been seeing friends of mine on FlossTube have recently gotten design boards, Cam and Stitcher, Stitchy Friends, and I was like, okay, well, I need to upgrade too. But I went to the quilt store, and the board that was like this big was $25, and I was feeling extra cheap, and I decided rather than buy the beautiful pre-made board, I would buy $10 worth of felt, mount it to foam core, and do it myself. Have I done it? No. So probably I should have just spent the money and gotten the finished design board, but I have high hopes. Maybe this is one thing I can spend my time doing this afternoon. We'll see. But I have the felt, and I have a lot of it. I think I bought a yard. Big design board coming. So, okay, let's rewind to Tuesday. It was the day before all the shipping and the final packaging happened. I made a date to get together with my friend Kari of Tiger Lily Designs. Kari is on FlossTube. She is a project bag maker. She is a project bag designer. You can buy her patterns, and I am lucky enough to call her my friend. She lives just about 2 hours south from me. She lives in Virginia. I am here in Maryland. And since we met at StitchCon for the first time, we had, talked online before that. We had been planning a get-together, and we were finally able to make it happen. It was on my part that I had to reschedule a couple times, but we were finally able to get together, and we met at Savage Mill in Maryland. It was about the halfway point for us, and it's this great old historic mill that I knew about, and there was a massive antique shop in the bottom. Don't mind that motorcycle. Cafes, restaurants, outdoor seating, and it was a beautiful day, and it was the perfect middle ground for us to meet up and spend some time together. It was the best time. I just love her. She is a businesswoman. She is fun. She is encouraging. She is kind. She's wonderful. If you don't know her, please head over, say hi, introduce yourself, meet her. She is someone you do not want to miss. She is one talented lady, and she is a generous lady. I say this because she showed up with a gift for me that blew my socks off. Anytime I get a package from Kari, I'm just like the jaw drops open. I am in awe of her products. She makes project keepers that I love. I'm a bobbinator. Her project keepers have bobbin holes, and I pulled this out of a bag when we were sitting having our lunch, and I was like, this kind of feels like the Tiger Lily product. And she had posted a little spoiler on her Instagram the day before we got together, and I was like, what is that? I don't know how I have not used this yet. I have kept this just as I received it, just so I could show you. I told her it was killing me, but I was gonna be strong. Are you ready? I need to preface this by saying this is not something, I asked Kari, this is not something that is going to be available for sale in the Tiger Lily shop. Her sales are on the 15th of every month. I've been told this is a one of a kind just for me and designed because I have started the stocking. Are you ready for this? I don't think you are. Let me get it just perfect. It is a Tiger Lily custom bobbin holder for my stocking projects. Look at this. Look at that. All of those bobbin flaps. I cannot wait to fill this up. I thought this was good. Oh no, this is better. I cannot wait. I'm holding it upside down, excuse me. I am so excited about this. Kari said no friend of mine is going to have bobbins floating in a box. Kari, you are magical. I love this. I about flipped when I opened it. As soon as I hang up with you here, it's click stop recording, my threads are going numerically into my brand new stocking Tiger Lily Project Portfolio Binder of Fabulousness. And I've got plans for a lot of stockings. I talked to you about them. I talked your ear off about them last time. I am working on a stocking now for my dad. I have plans for doing all my family members, doing a stocking for all of my family members. I'm gonna be stockinging for a long time. And now I have the perfect portfolio. Is this not awesome? I cannot believe this is mine, Kari. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love this. So Kari, like I said, sells the patterns for her project keepers, as well as finished project keepers. Steph of Lindy Stitches just posted a video, I want to say yesterday-ish. Nope, Thursday. What day of the week is it? I don't know. Where she made one of Kari's project keepers, like alongside of us, not in front of us. In front of us is what I meant to say. And it was so fun to watch. Truth be told, I don't think I'm ever going to be a project bag maker. I'm more of a project bag buyer. They intimidate me. As good as I know the tutorials are, I think I'm just going to continue to acquire them finished. So be sure you check Kari out if you're interested in learning how to make something similar to this. So good. Thank you, Kari. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So next week, I will have everything organized and I will show you what that looks like, but boy, that is fun. When Kari and I were antiquing, we found this booth that had all of these great sewing notions and dry goods from the past. I bought so many Christmas presents. I can't show you all of them. They're Christmas presents. That's self-explanatory. But I did find this book in the booth. It's America's Printed Fabric, 1770 to 1890. I have not had a chance to look through it in depth yet, but it seems pretty darn good, full of inspiration. There's quilts, but more than that, there's like beautiful fabric pictures. So I thought this would be inspiring and interesting. Yeah, never gonna know how to do this, but that was a really happy find from a really happy day with Kari. So I got that. Okay, let me show you my stocking. I've talked to you about stockings. Part of me was like a little bit embarrassed that I've gotten so much done, because it's really like any free 15 minutes, I've sat down and stitched. So I was like, they're gonna think I am just like doing nothing but stitching, which would be fantastic. So far from the truth, especially this month, this week. But I have made some progress. This is the stocking that I am stitching for my dad. I say that, but you should know, I plan on keeping this stocking. I am stitching this in honor of my dad, as I plan on doing for my mom and Mare. I have gotten a couple questions. Mare is my former stepmom. I grew up with her from the time she was a baby. She and my dad separated when I was 12. Dad now lives in West Virginia with his partner Eva, but growing up with Mare from the time I can remember, she has always been, she will always be my stepmom. So I plan on doing a stocking for Mom, for Mare, for Joe, for me. You guys already know the one I want to do for me. That's going to come last. But this is the one I'm doing for Dad. It is Santa's wood shop. My dad is a woodworker. We love building things together. He's a very talented guy. So this is what I'm stitching. If you want more information about this, watch my last video, because it should have just basically been a stocking video, because I just passionately talked your ear off about this stocking. I am doing a stitch along with stocking stitch along with my friend Liz of Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, and we're using the hashtag Stitch a Stocking Sal if you would like to stitch one along with us. I got lots of messages on the last video saying that you guys were planning on stitching a stocking, pulling an old stocking that you had started out, or that you have stitched them for family members. Do another one. They are so fun. So this is what I'm stitching. I'm making a couple changes. I decided as I was stitching, let me show you my progress, and then we'll talk to you about my changes. See, I need my design board. Oh, that was pretty good. This is how far I've gotten, which is actually a lot when you think about how much work it is to stitch anything in these stockings. They are so confetti heavy, so detailed. I am actually really proud of the progress I made. Last time I was just done, I think, like this little section. So let me show you what I've added here. I have added Noah's Ark, some alligators, the blocks. I finished the whole front of the workbench here. This is like a little vise. I've made really, really good progress, and I am still as in love with this whole process as I was at the beginning. I very much invite you to join us in stitching your own stocking. It's so great. So here, let me show you where I am. I am down here doing the whole foot of the stocking. There we go. Wow, bad at this. You'd think I'd be better by now. But that's how far I've gotten. I have a long, long way to go. But I wanted to do this portion because I got fearful for a minute that I didn't leave enough room on the toe to finish it. By the way, I don't know, I don't plan on finishing this. I've been thinking long and hard if I feel confident enough to finish the stocking. I do not. I think I want it finished like Liz did hers. She did a stocking for herself and for her husband Rob. She is doing another stocking for her mom right now, but she had hers finished by her with cording. What's the round like trim? You know, and I really like that look, so I think I'd like to have that done too. Not by me, but I think I have time to figure that out. I don't think that I will have this done for Christmas this year, but wouldn't it be nice if I did? Just a little Christmas finish to think of Dad. By the way, I still haven't told him that I'm doing this. I was thinking about sending him a link to my video, but then what if he's like, I want it? I would give it to him, I think. I don't think he will. We'll see. But he doesn't know that I'm stitching this yet, and it'll be interesting to tell him. He just built a pond on their property, by the way. He's been sending me pictures of the pond. It's filling with water from a natural spring. He is in, he's in all his happiness down there in West Virginia. So anyway, apparently I'm feeling chatty as well. This is the progress I made. I will have enough room for finishing at the toe, and from here I'm gonna start to work my way up, I think. I'm kind of blued out for the moment. It does get really busy at this point, so I'm gonna continue to complete motifs, if that makes sense, as I move my way up the stocking. So you can see it gets really busy. I do plan on making a couple changes. I'll show you on the chart. It's a little easier than my stitching, but I'm going to change the letters in these blocks to B and M. Those are my dad's initials. I am going to remove the mistletoe. Feels a little bit weird for my dad's stocking, and I also plan on changing the top. I don't love that. So I don't know what I'm going to change it to, but a change is coming, and more changes might be discovered along the way. I don't know, but that, along with my finish of the French garden piece, is my stitching for the week. So I am sure that I will get back to this weekend. Check out my working copy. Continuing to color that baby in. And this house is done. I just haven't colored it in because I was working from a different magazine when I started, but I am cruising along. So what else do I have to share with you? I think, is that really it? I always forget something. If I do, that's no problem because I'll be back in 6 days. But yeah, I'm gonna spend the rest, this is what I forgot, because I just put it somewhere. I put it in my project bag with my stocking. I'm gonna spend the rest of the day doing something just for me, not work related, possibly quilting, because I impulsively purchased this chart. It's not a chart, it's a quilt pattern. I impulsively purchased the PDF download of the Thimble, that's hard to say, Thimble Blossom by Camille Ross Kelly Simple Plaid Quilt. I am still working on the Starstruck 2 quilt along that I'm doing with Liz. It's a Lello Boutique quilt, and it's beautiful, but it is intense and it's slow going. So I was kind of feeling like I wanted a quick sewing project to feel accomplished. So I impulsively purchased this. I don't have the fabric that I want for it. I really want to make this a Christmas quilt. Wouldn't that be beautiful in reds and greens? It just feels festive to me. So I want to do some online shopping to see if I can't find the perfect fabric for this. So we'll see if I can locate it. In equal parts, I want to do something comforting and creative and making, and I also want to tidy and clean up this house and throw stuff away. Do you ever have those feelings where you're just like, get it out of my house, get it out of my house? It would be a dream to order one of those roll-off dumpsters right now. I'm told that we don't have enough stuff to throw away, so we're not doing that, but maybe before we move, we'll see. Couldn't cross that finger very well. So who knows how the rest of the day is gonna look for me, but I am really, really thankful that you stopped by to spend some time with me. I'm sorry that the video is late. I will catch up with you in just a couple days now. And I hope that you find some time to do something that you want to do this weekend too, be it stitching, crafting, whatever. But I hope that you have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next video.